Guys, it's Candace. Okay, we are going to work on this pocket today. Oop, let me turn my timer on. I am actually going to use, there we go. I'm actually going to use something that Janie has designed how it was intended to be used. Okay, so this is the pocket that we're doing. This is one of the journal cards that are going in there, but I guess I can show you the inside, but you still don't know what it is yet. Maybe, I don't know. So we're going to open it up, and then we have these cards in here, but I'm going to show you how to make the inside. And then instead of doing a bow, I just did a loose knot because I just thought that was different and cute. So, all right, let me put this aside and see if we can get this done. Oh, all right. Oh gosh, I got stuff falling. I brought a water bottle down and it's falling over there. Okay, so the first thing, we need to take these 4 journal cards that are in the kit, and we need to go ahead and tear them down so we can have our, doggone it, our journal cards. And I'm not able to grab them today. Alright, and I want to cut them down just a little bit, not quite 1/8 of an inch, a little shorter, just because I know based on my first pocket that I made, I need just a little bit more give up top. And I'm getting my stuff in there. Alright, hope y'all are having a good day. If you hear some thunders, that's because it got gray out there, dark, and thunder clouds are rolling in, and we might get another little shower. I know one of my dogs, Rusty, he does not like thunder. Oh my gosh, he can hear it from 10 miles away, and he is just beside himself. We got him from a pound, and he was the last one of his litter. Nobody wanted him because he's a red bone German Shepherd. He looks more like a red bone than a German Shepherd. He's got just a little bit of German Shepherd markers in him, but he's more of the browny red bone. And but he's the sweetest thing. But there was like eight puppies in the litter, and he was the runt, and all the other ones got adopted, and he was left alone in there for like almost 2 months. And he just kind of was curled up, a little withdrawn when we went there, and I fell in love with him, and just had to adopt him. So that's how we got Mr. Rusty. But he does not like, he does not like thunder. He doesn't like lightning. And he's a, fairly good sized dog, and that dog will try to get, between the chairs and a wall in the living room and underneath a coffee table, and his big old booty can't even fit, but oh Lord, he's trying. So, all right. So I'm going to take and cut this. I want it to be a little bit smaller than my actual card, so we can have a little play in there. So let me line it up on the numbers and see if that will be, darn it, enough. So this is that deli paper. You can use wax paper or whatever, but it's kind of waxy on this side and more paper on this side. You can actually write on it with a Sharpie marker, or if you have a good ballpoint pen. But apparently I don't have a good ballpoint pen because it didn't work on mine when I tried writing on it. So anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and tear these so I have, like I said, a little bit of play in there, because I just feel that if they're not wall to wall, they kind of make a little more crunch. I don't know, we're getting ready to find out, but that's my theory. So, or maybe, I don't know, maybe if we just do a little crunchy, then it'll be crunchy. I don't know. My first one, I kind of did like this, and it was a little louder. My second one, I did them exact, and it's not as loud. And so I want mine to have a little crunch. So, okay, and then we're going to tear it about here. Put that in the trash. Give that a little crunch. All right, and then I'm just going to tack this down to the back of it, because like I said, I'm going to back it and I'm going to sew around it. So I just want that to be attached to it, so it doesn't slide around in my sewing machine. But you know, that's still no guarantee, because just because I glue something doesn't mean it, you know, it's going to be on there right. Oh, it could still come loose in the sewing machine and it'd be all wonky. Alright, now I just need to tear a little bit more for this one. Let's see if I can get it. And then if we fold it here, that should be good. Oops, sorry if I'm down below, but I'm just following my ruler. Put that over there. And make sure this is going to fit. That's not too long. Nope, I'm good. Just do a little crinkle. I'm sure that doesn't mean a hill of beans, but makes me feel better. Alright. And then, oh, I might not even have enough of this backing paper. Yes, I just did this a minute ago and I messed it up, so I had to reprint them and do them again. So let's put this over there, and we will mark where we need to cut on here, and then we'll put them aside and let them dry, and then I'll go sew around them, and we'll see how the crinkle goes. We'll see if I got enough crinkle. And right there. Alright. Oh, today is my granddaughter's 9th birthday, Brianna. I called her, told her happy birthday. But happy birthday, Brianna. Mimi loves you. Hope you have fun today. Already marked that, dummy. So, they're supposed to go to a trampoline bounce house that they have and do that, and then I guess they're going to go out to eat and do some other fun little things. So she really hasn't asked for much this year, which my daughter even said is a little bit odd for her. Because, you know, Brianna's usually the first one with her list of 50 things that she wants. Oh. Because she's definitely one of those children that the TV commercials play to. Because she'll see something, she goes, oh, Mimi, I want this. Oh, Mimi, I need that. And I'm like, talk to me in November and we'll see if you still want or need it. So, and usually she's changed her mind. She's on to something else. Alright, let me put my little scraps over here. And I'm only going to glue 2 and sew 2 because, like I said, I did the other ones in, well, you know. Let me just put a little dot to hold that back on, and then we'll glue around the edge loosely because I'm going to sew on them. Alright. But, I don't know. Can you hear it? You still hear it. It's not as loud as all by itself, but yeah, I know it's in there. Not like that nice crinkle that it makes when you do on the outside underneath fabric on your journal cover. Man, now that makes some crinkle. But I guess it's just too close to the paper and it just doesn't do it as loudly. So, all right. And then, you know, we would just ink around the fronts and backs. I gotta trim that off because, you know, that's gonna bother me. So we'll do that, and the same here. We'll just ink around fronts and backs, and you do that on all of them. Get you some backing paper that you want to do, or if you don't want do this step, then just don't put the, can you hear it? Don't put the crinkle in there. But it is kind of fun. I think I've seen people have done, is it what they use, like the cereal box liners that they put in there too, inside stuff to make it crinkle? I think I've seen that somewhere. I don't know. But, all right. Let me put that over there to dry. Now let's see if we can do this pocket. Oh, there it is. All right, so this is the envelope, one of the envelopes from the kit that you cut, fold, and you make an envelope pocket or a flip out. But I'm not doing it like that. I mean, I got to do mine different. So I know I'm going to make it 4 inches. So let me get on a line so I can, whoops, tear it at 4. And then we'll come over here, make sure we don't move so we can get 4 inches. And, oh, if you're wondering how I came to this size, simply because I looked at the page that I was going to do, that I wanted it on. Oh gosh, let me put my top in it. And just looked and saw how big of a pocket that I needed, because I knew I was putting these in there. So I just kind of came up with, looked at it and said, oh, 4 inches would be good. So that's how I got my 4 inches. And then I'm going to be folding it up. I think it is about 3 1/8 from the bottom. So oops, let me get my other little green. All right, so this is going to be our top flap. So you can either tear it with your ruler or stick it in your little cutting machine and cut it, but I think if I hold my mouth right, it works. Okay, and then this, because we're going to cover it with some paper, so I can do, oh, we'll tear it about here because I should be good. Just a little bit of the flap. And so let's do it at 3 1/4 is what I know I need the bottom to be. So I'm just going to put it on here and take my little bone folder, score it so I can fold it up. And then, well, let me use this one that I have in here, since my other one's gluing. Well, okay, fine. Hold on. I'll just use the one I had in there since my other ones are gluing, because this is going to go in the back, but they're still the same size. So I think I was wanting to fold it at 2 1/2 because I need to make sure that I'm going to be able to have my card in there and bend it so it looks if I bend it, and then I need to make sure that it's going to be covering the part of this, but yet so my tags can still go in there. So this is kind of where I'm going on this one. No real rocket measurements for here, because I just want my things to fit in there, which I sure wish I knew what I just did with those. But let's just put one in here so you can see. But see, and I might actually could go down a little more, because I only need it to go up a little bit, because this one's taller, as you can tell. So let me see how much this is over. Oh, it's about the same. I need my thumb hole not to show. So since I've already folded it there, we're going to go with that. So we're going to go ahead and fold it down a little bit. And then I got to find those ones I just sewed. I brought them over here. There they are. Oh, those are the ones I sewed. Oh, I still got one more. Oh my gosh. But anyway, if a video ever went smooth, you know something was wrong. There we go. There's my 4 that I sewed. Alright, so now I want to put some of this stripe on here to kind of go over. So I want it to hang over. So I'm reinforcing, plus I want it to hang over about a little bit. So let me see. So I guess we'll cut it, we'll tear it at 2. So let's cut it at 2-ish. And then get our size. Now this we're going to fold over the back, so you don't have to worry about cutting that. And then we know that our pocket's 4 inches, so we'll just go ahead and tear it on 4. Hope for the best. Oops. Tear it on a total of 4. Alright, and make sure that this is going to fit, which yes it is. Alright, and so I just want to see where I want to fold it, because I want some of this to poke out at the bottom. That's way too much. So I'm wanting about like that. Looks good for me. Okay, so we have that. So I'm just going to draw a little line because I know that's where I want it to be. So let me go ahead and glue this down on the front and put it on my line. My semi-line. I know it's not really a straight line, but it's good enough. And then just make sure real quick that that is what I want. So yes it is. Let me make sure that it's kind of straight and lined up with these dots. Okay. And then do a little squishing. And then we're gonna, I guess I'll go ahead and take my bone folder and just go on the side so it'll help me fold it over. And then we'll glue that down. And make sure you get a little extra glue up top, because that's where you're going to put your little thumb hole, and you want to make sure that it's all glued together, it doesn't come apart. Okay, so that's our, oh, I was supposed to ink that. Doggone, see, I was running my mouth. Okay, let's see if we can fix that. Ink it before you put it on here. Alright, that's not so bad. That was okay save. I was just thinking of the thumb hole and, didn't ink. Alright, now on my top, on the inside, I want to put some of this in there. I mean, I know it doesn't really go, but it's still a pretty color. I just want to put it in there. That's all. So let me just go ahead and tear a little bit of this off. And I want to go, looks like to this line. I should be good. And then we'll double check it, make sure. Ooh, my eyeball's itching. Hold on, gotta scratch my eye. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, put it in the wrong spot. Oh, still itching my eye. Alright, and let's just make sure that's going to fit in there, because I just wanted the top to be a little more sturdy than, it's on 32-pound paper, but anyway, I just need a little bit more. So I'm going to ink around there, because we're going to cut the corners, and I just wanted a little more sturdiness on there. And then let me just ink a little bit, makes me feel better. Alright. And then before I do this, because all this little white is here, I want to go ahead and use my little dirty stencil, and I just want to put some flowers on here just so you can kind of see on the white that there's something there and it's not just so, oh shoot. Trying to line it up on that little line, which is not working well for me. Okay, so, and then we're just gonna do a little light stenciling, just so there's a little on there, not a lot, just a little. And now we're gonna glue our top piece on, our scrap, and that way you get a little more room for journaling too, if you want to journal on top. Or if not, it's just something colorful and pretty that says, hey, when you open it up. That's what it says to you too. It says, hey. You open it up, it says, hey. You close it, it says, hello. Just make sure it folds, which it does. Okay. Then let's just go ahead and ink around the top. And we've got to give it a little bit more time to dry before we try to do our little corner chompers on there, or you know it won't work. So we'll just ink a little bit while we're waiting. Okay, that's that and that. And let me just go ahead and ink here, and I should be able to put my thumb hole on there now. Alright, let's go ahead and put our thumb hole in the middle. And yes, I want to make sure it's in the middle. I'm going to measure it. Oh, I know. I have issues. Okay, and then we'll ink around that. And then I think our top might be, I think it's dry enough to do our little corner chompers. So let's round our corners. Oh, no it wasn't. See? If it's not all the way dry, it definitely doesn't cut through there good. But it looks fine because it's, you know, the rest of it's not all nice and perfect. It's a little tattered from the ruler tear. Alright, so that is our basic thing. Now, what I'm doing on the inside is, you know how you always, this is an old one that I have from scrap, how you always are looking for something, they call them, I think, like ephemera pockets or packets or something. This is one that I did with some scrap, some leftover book page. I was like, well, what can I do with that? I said, oh, I'll make one of those little pockets. So that's what we're going to do on the inside of here. So I am using, well, my first one I used this and that, and I kind of like this and that. So that's why there's two of them. Because I was undecisive. I didn't really like the first one I did. Let's be honest. I think the back part was just a little too faint for me. So let me go ahead and cut the side down. And then I'm going to cut it to 3 7/8 because, you know, it's 4 inches wide. I just cut it, I'm just cutting them a little bit smaller than the width of the thing, page. Ooh, sorry, I got an itch on my leg. Alright, let me cut this one down because we're doing 2 pages. And you could all put 3 in there if you want, but you would need to have thinner cards because these are kind of, you know, thick because of the insides and the sewing. So if you didn't have the sewing, you could probably add another page, but I'm only doing that, so it lets me put 3 cards in there. So let me cut this. Now I want to make my pockets, my inside pockets, just a hair, like 3 1/8, so that'd be, I want to fold them at 3 1/8. So if I wanted to go ahead and, ouch, I have a bite from being outside on my leg, and it is itching my leg. So 3 1/8 and 3 1/8 is going to be 6 1/4. So we will just cut these there, and then we'll fold it, and we should be where we need to be. Uh-oh, I done lost my mark. Oh my gosh, how can you lose a pencil mark so quick? I mean, for real. Am I even on the right page? Oh, that's how. Because you're looking on the wrong page that you didn't even mark on. Marco, Bolo. Okay. So now we're going to fold these. And I think, oh man, well, we won't see it because I had the white. But I think I alternated on there. So I'm doing like this one on the front, you'll see, and then you'll have this in the middle, and then this on the back. So we'll fold that. Now, go ahead and ink your tops. It's much easier than after you put them in there. And I just go ahead and ink both front and backs, because depending on how you're doing, and the sides, which I don't know now because I've got that, but we'll see, because mine has a little twist on the side. So just go ahead and ink all around, top, bottoms, back and front. And you know, you can use it the way I'm going to do it, or you cannot, but it's an option. So let's just go ahead and get all these inked. And you don't have to do the bottom because they're going to be that's going to be hidden. But hey, if you feel like inking, just go for it. Just ink all the way around. I don't think it would mind, because you know it's been sitting up all winter. It needs a little bit of tan. So we're giving it a little tan. Alright, so, oh my gosh. Wish I could put my leg up here and show you my little bite. Crazy thing. Alright, now let's just make sure that when we put this in here, yep, we're going to be good. Okay, so now I glue this page that's folded and this page together. So I'm going to glue the sides. Oops. A little bit on the bottom, just so it stays together. And then I'm going to put these two together. Alright, so I gotta give it a minute. So the glue can adhere, because you know we're going to be rough with it. So we need to give it a minute to glue. Alright, so we gave it a minute. So this is what you have. What is that? There's a word for that. I don't remember anymore because, you know, whatever. And then the inside is open. Is that a perpendicular angle? I don't know. So the inside, there's your inside pocket. So now we're going to take and we're going to glue just probably not quite an inch right there, and we're going to glue that to it. Then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to glue this other single page about an inch-ish, 3/4 probably. And then got to give it a minute to stick together. I know I'm getting lighter and lighter by the day. I'll be my regular color before long. Oh, so now when you do this, you're going to have the fronts are going to be loose right here. It's going to be glued together, and then you're going to have that. So this is kind of what it's supposed to look like, if you can kind of see. These are glued in the middle, and then your center pocket's open. Alright, so now we're going to glue this in here. So we're going to, this is the top because that's where the opening is, so stick your finger in there so you don't mess it up. So let's glue, make our square C. Okay, and then we want it where the crease is, just a little bit. We don't want it in the very bottom because, you know, we've got to have a little bit of room for the bulk that's going to be in there. Okay, and then just press the sides down a little bit. Give it a minute to stick. Then we're going to flip it, and we're going to do the same on here. We're going to make our square C. Oops. And glue the back to the back. And then give it a minute. Let's see how long it's taken so far to get here. Ooh, 30 minutes to even get here. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know. See, I don't have easy projects. Well, this could be one, and then these other things would be two, so, you know. Oh. Alright. So now we're going to gently see what we got. So you're going to have a front pocket, the middle pocket, and the back pocket. Let me even stand up and make sure that you're seeing this, because just because I can see it don't mean you can see it. But see? Alright. And that's where our cards are going to go. You're going to put that card in there, your other one in the middle pocket, and then your other one in the front pocket, and that is that. And then we have, that's, you know, it's not glued down together because we made pockets out of it. So that's what we got. Alright, so now we're going to glue our ribbon on so we can have a tie closure. So, but you can put whatever kind of closure you want on there. This is just what I decided to do. So, oops. This is some real pretty sparkly. Is the camera picking it up? It's real pretty sparkly. Alright. And yes, I'm cheap. I'm not even doing it on the whole back. Oh, because I know I don't have a lot of this. So, but I know I'm going to need about a little bit longer than here, because you know it's going to be glued on the back. So I just, however much I need on the back, because I'm going to glue it about, whoops, about 3/4 of an inch or a finger's width, so almost an inch on the back. So I'm going to pinch it right there, because that's where I'm going to cut. Let me use these other scissors, they cut my little lace better. And then I'm going to do the same for the front. So let me put this aside so I don't lose it. And then we're going to go on the back. And like I said, yes, I'm going to measure where I want my ribbons to be, so I can make sure that they're going to be straight. Because you know I have issues with that. Alright, and then we're going to, you know, be a little heavy on the glue, because you want it to make sure it's going to hold this. And like I said, about 3/4 of an inch, not quite an inch. And then we're going to use our scrap. Oops. No. Hold on. I made another mess over here. And this is some of the scrap from tearing it off. So we're going to cut, because you're not going to see it on the back, but you need at least an inch to be able to hold it on there. So I'm going to cut about that much. And I guess this is, well, it's an inch, because this is our tape on the back to help make sure that this gets glued down good. And then we're gonna, you know, you don't have to, but oh, I'm just inking, and that's just so when you get it, you know, you don't see it. Well, she didn't even ink the back. Well, it's gonna be glued down for one thing, but I am gonna be professional and ink around my thing. So yeah. All right, so we just want to go a little bit past the top. And like I said, after that glues, it's going to be double stuck, and you don't have to worry about, unless you're really vicious with, you know, tying and untying your stuff. But try to be kind. It's just lace, for Pete's sake, and paper. Oh, and then let's put that on there. And then we will put our other little piece of tape glue on here. Paper tape. You know, but when you put this other glue on there, it becomes strong. And then we're going to glue it right below so it doesn't, you know, pull or have any problems. Okay, and so when it's over, there you have your little tie. And then with gluing this little extra on here, when you put your card in there, it's not going to catch on nothing. Okay, so we have that. What else do I need? Oh, that's pretty much it. Other than I need to ink around these so we can put them in there, and I forgot to glue my things, so let me just do that real quick. I sewed them, but I didn't glue them. Oh, I got a bunch on the back. I know that's character, but I don't need that much character. It gets caught up on things, gets in my way. My stuff's too thick. I don't need any extra character. Alright, so let me just... I can tell you right now, I got to trim the top of this because that is not straight. Alright, made me feel better. Alright. Let me glue this down. Put a little glue back there so it doesn't slip and come out. And then we'll set it aside, let that finish drying. Oh, I got a lot of white there. Let me trim that up. Okay, feel better about that. And then we'll ink back, hello. Put a little glue back here. And then we'll do, oh, that's my, oh, this is this one. So I still go and put a little glue even on the fabric, because when it dries it's clear, but I just don't want my thread to unravel later, so I just put a little bit in there, and then we'll press it down, and then by now it's time to go back to the first one and whoops, trim our little threads, and then we'll ink around it. And then we'll stick them in there, and then we will get, oh, our other little bonus thing done. Okay, so let me just get some ink, and we'll ink around it. See, that's showing. I can't do it. And that's some of the, whatever that is, deli paper. But nope. You know, if that ink doesn't help hide it, I gotta cut it. Okay, so we got that one. And let's go ahead and ink this one. Ink back here. Do this one, and then we'll do our pull tabby one, and I'm not putting any decorations on here just because, you know, if you want to put it on yourself then you can, but my pocket's a little thick because, you know, I got a little, my stuff's a little thick in there. So, but who knows, that doesn't mean anything. When I do my final flip through, they might have decoration on there. You know how that goes. I change my mind. It talks to me. You know, you hear that psst, psst, Candace, psst, psst. You're like, oh my God, shut up. And it just keeps on and on until you go in there and do it. Oops, I got to snip them off. Some of the decorative threading for that quilting part. Oops, I sure need to snip the thread off too. All right, get it off of me. Okay, so this will be going in the back when you glue it on your page, and then you open it up. Ooh, got a mess. We're gonna put, I don't know, which one do I want? I think I'm gonna put this one in the back. Then put the one that's kind of, I call it a little plain, in the middle, and then the one with the butterfly poking out up in the front. Okay, so that's our little pocket, and then let me go ahead and do my little, just my little knot. Like I said, if you want to make them longer and you want to actually tie it, go for it. But I just thought just a sweet little knot is all it needed, so you can get in there and out. And then, oh, let me go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the ends, just so my ends don't fray. I mean, this stuff is a little hard, so it might not fray, but makes me feel better. Okay, so there's that. Now I have this piece of tag, which is measures 2 3/8 by 5. So this is what I want to do. All right, let me bring my main one over so you can get the whole picture. Okay, so that goes in there, and then this ties, and then like Karen, if you decide that this is one of your projects that you want, it will come with, you know, all of this, and it'll have this extra little piece of paper and this lace too. So just, you know, don't think you're not getting all of that, because whatever's on a page, like I said, I consider that a project. Okay, so this is these, and then remember how we had the way we had those things? Well, it makes it so you can actually put a tag in there. You could put 2 in there. So, because there's 2 extra pockets in there. Because remember, when we sewed them together, we only glued the very tops. So that leaves this part open that you can put a tag in, and that part open. So you could put 2 different tags or a journal card and a tag in there. But I'm only making 1, just so you can see what I'm talking about or doing. But let me tie that back together. So let me see how far along we are. Ooh, okay, we're getting there. Well, I didn't pick paper out. I didn't get that far. I want what's gonna go with here. I mean, we have like, do I want to pull in? Maybe I want to pull in some more green, because this is from the SaturdayStamper. That might go on there pretty. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use some of this polka dot, which is buried in my scrap bin for this project. Oh Lord, there it is. Okay, I'm hoping I got enough to kind of go on top and bottom. So, all right, I got a semi-plan. So let's go ahead and we'll tear this. And this is the other part of the SaturdayStamper. It says Vintage Botanicals, but that's where we got our other flower paper and the stripes that I'm using for my backing for journal cards, because if that doesn't say journal card paper, I don't know what does, because it has nice lines in there so you can write in there and not go all wonky. Alright, so okay, I think that's gonna fit. Oh, just perfect. Alright, now let's see, do I want to put that on the bottom? Okay, let me just go ahead, let me cut this just to see what it's going to look like, because I don't know, I mean, it has like little roses, but they kind of look more like carnations, but heck, it's a flower. It's pink. It goes with the theme. Don't get so technical. Alright, let's see. So if we had this right there, I'm going to put that down there, and then we're going to put some of this up there, which I might, I don't know if I want, what? I think we'll go with this side. Okay, so let me, I want to cut it right here. And then we're going to cut it on top, because, you know, top of our tag is cut. And then we'll trim the sides in a minute, our angles. But I want to, this is going to be my shortest side. And then I'm going to kind of come down. Put that there. Put this on there. And then this down here. Okay. I'm kind of liking it. So let me just ink around the edges so it will be done. And we'll glue this on. Oops. Okay. Put it kind of at the top of where the angles start. Alright, and then we will ink around here. Glue this one on there. You know, I'm kind of wondering, since that's torn, does it matter? I don't know. Kind of want a little torn edge. I know. Like this. Just don't want it so straight. Just because the top's not even, so, you know, if you're going to have a cockeyed top, you got to have a cockeyed bottom. We've got to be unsymmetrical, symmetrically symmetric. Right? Got to be unevenly even. Alright, and then we will ink right here. Even though I just inked my fingernail, it washes off. As long as you wash in between projects. Now, if you leave it on too long, by gosh, you got brown fingernails. Oh, and other colors. Oh, yeah. Some of this ink just, it means business. Okay, so we have that. And that's a cute little tag, if I don't say so myself. I'll put this back in my scrap bin. Throw that on the floor. Alright, and then we'll trim our corners. And I might just leave the back like that. Well, let's just put a little hint of flowers. Oh, make sure I hold that. All right, just so it's not so naked. And then let me, oh, I'm gonna have to round the corners because I don't want it to catch. I mean, it didn't look like it was, but I feel better. Okay, and then we will see what it looks like. Put it in our little hole, and see, depending on how far you want it to hang out, because if we put some lace on there, we might have to stick it in a little bit more so the lace doesn't hang all the way out. But I'm trying my best to get ink on my cover. Oh, let me just double check. No, she is just fine. Good thing. Just wipe it just in case, make me feel better, but it didn't get in there. But I'm trying my darndest. Alright, so now I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a little hole tabby on there and maybe some fabric, I think is what I need, some fabric. So, let me put you on hold real quick. On hold. Hold please. Let me put you on pause and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. So I just put some cream that I had that's kind of similar to that. It's not the same, but it's that little, the back of that tapestry that I had. And, but it's kind of quilted-y like this, and it's got the little, whatever that is, cream color in there. So let me just put a little bit of glue on here, just so, it'll help keep it from fraying, because, I just don't like my stuff to fray. And then I'll pat it down with my fingers. And then we get it on this side too. Alright, and then we'll just kind of stick the glue in there. Same on this side. Stick it in there. And then let me just cut my front and back strings a little bit. And that is our hidden ephemera tuck tag. Oops, there you go. And that is our finished pocket. So there you go. So I hope it wasn't too difficult for you. I mean, just take your time. Start, you know, do it from the beginning to the end, and it all works out, I promise. All right, so thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing some of your day with me. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Lots of kisses and big loves. Thanks, guys. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.